Hello, everyone. You're watching SK Live. I'm Indranil. With me today, we have a very young, dashing rider with us, Mohamed Mikail with us. He's joining straight from Malaysia. Hi, Mikail. Good to see you.
Hi,
How old are you? You're 16, right?
yes, I'm 16.
Oh my God. There's a phrase which we all know: catch them young. So, who
I
caught you young? Who caught you young and got you to riding?
got into me riding. First of all, I wasn't into motorcycles at all. When I was young, I used to like cars and stuff, like the F1s when I was little. But I used to like riding the bicycle.
Okay.
So I used to ride with the like the with the training wheels and all. But one sudden day, my uncle took the training wheels off, and I don't know, just the first try I just started riding it. So since then I started with the bicycle stunts, and then I first got into BMX, the BMX, like the bicycle jumps and they do the tricks and all. But then after that I saw the road racing of the motorcycle, like MotoGP and all, in YouTube. After that I got really passionate about that, and ever since, so I wanted to become one of them.
So your family did support. What was your mother's take? I mean, wasn't she scared that you're getting into a sport which is sort of dangerous because you can get injured, you can crash
Of
into a lot of
course,
things.
until I think my mom didn't know, until my first race. Nobody knew actually my first race. Until then, they were all scared, of course. But
Okay.
after my first race, my whole family became a lot more calm, and they became more comfortable, because the first race I went, I just won the race, like without any crashes, and it went all successful in the first race. So until that, my parents, my family, everyone was very scared of it.
So how old were you that then when you won the first race?
I um I got selected into Honda in the talent hunt. I was around 14 years old.
Okay.
It was just around 2 3 weeks ago I got selected, and then we had the second selection, which was in Madras Motor Racetrack, and I got selected in that also. And the next week was the race. I think it's in July 2018.
So and how was it growing up in a sort of city? You grew up in Chennai, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Uh, no, I grew up in Malaysia.
Okay, you've been always in Malaysia. Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay. Now, right now, you are still in Malaysia. So, what are you
yeah,
doing there? Is there any competition happening? What is your
yeah.
regime?
I competed in the Malaysian Superbike Series (MSBK) in the
Okay,
250 category. It was not so bad, because it was the only race happened this year in Malaysia, and of course in India there was no race happening, which maybe we'll see a race next in December.
okay.
But in Malaysia, it's still, even in the lockdowns, there were like practices going on, and people were getting ready for their upcoming races in the Europe side and all. So I also had a chance to, at least practice, because it was not very bad over here, the corona cases.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was just wondering. You also loved, as you said, driving, right? You loved cars. So why that sudden thing into motorbikes? Any particular
As
reason?
soon as as soon as I started the two wheels, it gave me a different feeling, because the whole bike is under my control, and it's like, uh is I don't know, it is some like the adrenaline feel. I first like to fall down a lot. I used to get every day when I go out for riding bicycle, I used to fall down in my knee, in my elbow. There will be, the grazes and the blood and everywhere. So I like falling down a lot. I enjoyed it. And then when I got into motorcycles, it was not a big thing for me, falling down. So I was more confident, and I was more, and like I liked it more.
And that's how life is. You fall, you get up, you fall, you get up. That's how it goes on.
Yeah.
But trust me, it can really hurt your elbow and your knees if you fall. I mean, you have
No, when I was riding bicycle, there was no gears, just without anything, just with like a normal helmet and stuff. But in motorcycles, not often you get hurt a lot, because we are wearing, like the high tech, the gears,
yeah,
which
yeah,
they're providing, because it's like the levels where the MotoGP riders also use it. The same, the gears we are using is very protective, and they have like airbag system and everything, so it's more protective, which makes the rider more confident, and he knows that like nothing will happen that severe.
absolutely. And did you try play any other sport other than what you're doing, riding?
No,
This
because
part,
this is
this
the
part
only
of
sport, like at the first try I got it, like everything became a positive thing. Everything other than this sport, everything the first try was not good.
So little bit of cricket happens. I know in Malaysia because we have I've covered matches over there way back in 2000, I think 6. So a little bit of cricket happens. So have you ever tried playing the game, cricket or a football or something like that?
Cricket I have played with my friends back in India, maybe last year and all. Football, yes, I play not very often. Now I haven't played because of the lockdown. We are not supposed to go outside a lot. But yes, I do play like football. But in cricket, I don't know about a lot. I mean, like, something I just know about hitting the bat or throwing the ball. Other than that, I have no idea with what's inside it.
Okay, it's a great game. Trust me. There's a lot of billions of
Yeah,
Indians follow it, and they
I'm
follow it really.
looking forward to know and understand other sports also.
Absolutely. That's how if you're a good athlete, you can play all
Yeah.
sport. You know all sport, that is all there. But tell me something. How did you spend the lockdown? I mean, riding, there was no restriction, I guess. Was there anything in lockdown?
It was there.
Which
The
part of
first
Malaysia
lock,
are you in? Are you in Kuala Lumpur?
yeah, and Kuala Lumpur.
Okay. Okay. So I mean, what was it? Could you ride? Could you take your bike out? What was the situation like in last 6 months?
The first I think March it started the lockdown. We had until like around June lockdown. So I think it's just like 2.5 or 3.5 months. My brother and I built a bike. I mean, not like a whole bike, but we modified it. We changed the whole, like the looks and like the bikes. We changed like it was like a scooter, but then we changed it into like a bike with a fuel tank and everything. We did customization in our house, in my bedroom.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think, but it didn't take that long time. It just took 1 month, because my brother is a pro in that, like customizing and building new stuff and bikes.
So he helps you in preparing the bike also when you before competition.
He is the one who prepares for me the bike. He's the one who brought me into racing, and the one who taught me racing.
So is he
Like,
is he elder to you? Is he elder to you? And what's his name?
yes, yes, his name is Sohail Ahmed.
Okay, great, great, great. Great to have a brother like that. Trying to help you, and I'm sure you and your brother will go a long way together, trying to build
Yeah,
bikes
he
and
was he was also racing at that time.
okay.
So he used to learn. He also used to learn a lot, and he used to teach me. So it was quite a lot helpful. After that, he had an injury in his left knee, so he had to stay out of racing for a couple of times. So, and he got into like building and customizing bikes, and now he's doing very good, and he's building a race bikes, and he's like almost to a big level. So he's the one
Wow.
who teaches me how to set up the bike during a race, and like a lot more.
How old is he?
He's about to turn 25 next week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, beautiful. I mean, all in the family. Tell me something about these talent hunt programs you attended. Any one that got you into prominence as a young
I
rider?
I was selected into the first talent hunt.
Okay, okay,
It was actually like my uncle was scrolling through Instagram, and the Honda Racing India. It was like, when you're scrolling and the sponsored posts come. So it suddenly showed up in his Instagram, and they were like some, I don't know what all it was in there in the post, but then he went inside the link and he signed me up. And after like I think a week or two, I got a bib number, and they said I have to go to Bangalore to go to the selection. I was pretty very excited because I have never raced before. I really wanted to race at that year. I didn't get my license also because I was young and I didn't have a proper category to race in India.
yeah,
And after that, I got selected into the talent hunt, the first stage. And the first stage is just like a normal. They will do some they will see some stuff, like they will put some cones and they will make you do some skills and tricks. And after that is the second stage, is the final stage. They will make you ride in the circuit in the Madras Motor Race track, and if you perform good and everything, they take you inside the team, the Honda Racing India. So I got into that, and since then they took care of me and made me reach the international ground a bit early.
absolutely. And you're really making us proud. Tell me something. In India, if you're a young rider, you can be as old as 16 when you get your license to ride, and as old as 18 when you get a driving license. So how
Uh,
does it work in your circuit when you're doing sport? I mean, riding as a sport when you're taking how
the
much?
like the racing license you can get is as soon as you turn 13.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay. So that wasn't a problem.
yeah,
But
that wasn't a problem.
even when you went to international, the Thailand hunt talent something, you took
Thailand
part.
Talent Cup.
Yes, talent cups. I mean, tell us about that. How did you land up there? Was it through India? Or was it directly from Malaysia? They contacted you. How was it?
No, I was at that time I was in India.
Okay, okay,
The first year 2018 I won the championship out like 8 out of 10 wins, 8 out of 10 races. I took 8 wins and 2 podiums, like third and second, and I took the championship. And like Honda made me race in the Thailand Talent Cup in 2019. So the next next year of my first year in the racing, year in Honda, they made me race in Thailand Talent Cup. The first round in Thailand we went was a bit nervous because I have never been in that bike, and it's a prototype and it's a Moto 3 machine which races in like the international stages like around Europe and everywhere. So I didn't know a lot, but the first day I struggled a lot, very much. I was like, why I want to go, I don't want to race here. But the second day surprised me a lot. I don't know how. It was like a miracle. I suddenly came into the like it was around 20 people. I was actually like the last and the second last with my teammate. But the second day, me and my teammate we came a bit front. Like we came to the 11th and 10th and 12th, 13th. So we were more confident and happy in the second day.
and it was quite commendable also last year when he qualified for the Asia Talent Cup. I guess right. That was for
Yeah,
2020. So
it
tell us
was
about.
very nervous. What was a very big moment because I have been seeing Asia Talent Cup since 2013, and not lot of riders get selected into it. It's like a very big process, and like it's the main stage which leads to the international, like the international stage with which you can race in Europe and Asia all together. Now I just race in like the Asian continent, but hopefully, inshallah, if I succeed in this Asia Talent Cup, I can go to the international stage.
Absolutely, you will. And that's your jersey, right? Hung right behind you. Those are your jerseys when you riding.
Yeah,
What is that?
this yeah
Is it your
this
nickname? Okay,
Honda gifted me for my first win.
okay. And what is that Momo written there? What does it mean? It's,
That's my nickname where all the
okay,
people call me in India. I
okay,
mean,
okay,
not only India, now everywhere.
okay. And we have one viewer joined, Sudhir Sudhakar. He's saying hi Momo. So I was just wondering, what is this Momo? Because we love eating
Uh,
Momo, but we never saw
yes,
A name
he's
with
one of my team people, like my uncle's team people.
wow.
So all very close. So they all call me Momo, and now everywhere is Momo only.
So Momo travels all over the world, and Momo is,
Yes,
when you have it.
some people don't even know my original name, and they call it Momo.
Okay, which is a very cute name, I think. But tell me, how does Momo find time to study?
Me, I don't study a lot, but I try my best, but I haven't studied a lot.
So what you're doing? I mean, which standard are you in?
I'm
you're
currently in grade 9.
grade 9. Okay.
Yeah.
I hope it's been smooth, because I hope studies is not affected because of your racing
It
and all
never
that.
affects me in racing and nothing.
Okay, I mean, you do you get enough time to study? That's the you know because it's very important to strike the balance also once in a while,
Yeah. I mean,
isn't
the only, I mean, hard thing is only study, because racing is not hard. Racing is anyway the thing I enjoy, so it's nothing hard for me.
absolutely. So tell me something, as a young child prodigy. I mean, are you aware of when people tell you you're good talent and all that? So does it put pressure on you? I mean, at this age, do you feel that sort of
Not now, but not my first year also I didn't feel a lot, but I did feel a little bit on my first year because I won around like I think 5 or 6 races straight, or yeah, 5 to 6 races straight I won. And when I went to the Delhi, the Booth International Circuit,
yeah,
I couldn't ride very well because I was a bit nervous and I couldn't understand the track very well. And I started the race from third, so which made me a bit lose my confidence. The race one I finished. I was fighting with the first, and then I made a move on the last corner in the last lap, and then I went to first, but then I suddenly went a bit out of the circuit and I went to third. After that, I became a bit sad. I put lot of pressure into myself, but my uncle was saying it's no problem. It's you should not put like that pressure into yourself. It comes automatically because I was winning all the races, like anyone who wins like all the races, and not just winning. I took like around a big gap, like around 20-second gap between me and the second rider. So it made me more, I didn't know the difficulties which the riders were facing behind me. So it was a bit pressure for me, like my own pressure. But I think until now, no one has pressured me like out of from the outside.
So how do you see the racing, the riding scene in India as a youngster? When you come here, you take part in competitions. How do you see people? How do you see it's growing in years to come? You're also going to grow with time. I'm sure you're going to
I
learn.
think
Great.
until 2018, like a lot of youngsters didn't have a chance to race. I mean, Honda Racing India have like a broad big opportunity for the youngsters, like around 12, 13 years old. They get selected into it, and they have the opportunity to practice and race with the best bikes. And after they give good results, they can they have the chance to go to the international stage. So now, like, Honda Racing India have brought these opportunities is like almost equal like the other countries like Indonesia, Thailand. So it's like almost the same. I think at some parts I would say Honda Racing India is better than some other countries like Thailand's and Malaysia's opportunity, because Malaysia doesn't have like the Honda Racing India, like the NSF category and all. But India has, so I mean, lot of youngsters will come through them.
Absolutely. I mean, you should set the right example. I'm sure a lot of people will do. Will certainly, follow your footsteps. But tell me something. Have you ever tried riding on Indian roads? Do you find them dangerous?
Never. I tried riding a bicycle for fitness. I was really scared because the all the I have like the nervousness suddenly when a vehicle or like a big vehicle passes. I get like one that feeling suddenly, like that panic feeling. So I never try on the roads.
No, absolutely. It's sort of people need to follow the traffic rules so well, which they don't in India, and
Yeah,
that's why we see so much.
especially yeah, in India, because I see a lot of people like street racing in India. Like personally, I have a friend who used to race in the streets and all, and he is. And then last year he came into Honda, and he was my teammate. Like he was riding the CBR 150. So if he continued like racing in the streets, it would have been like a loss for his family and for him also if he had any accident in the roads,
Yeah.
because
So what's
roads.
to ride safe on roads? I mean, not as a sport. If a commuter is on the road, what are your tips as a two-wheeler specialist, someone who rides the two-wheeler so fast, which is quite dangerous also, could be when you're riding on Indian roads or whichever roads. So what are your tips to them?
I would like to say, like please take it slow, and you have a family, and everyone is waiting for you in the house. And if you want feel that real that feeling of the racing and all, there's racetrack, and there's teams which you can get into, and you can like race in the track which is a lot more safe. Like I have crashed around at 200 kilometers per hour, 200
Okay,
plus,
okay.
and still I just got up and start running to my bike, and like wanted to go back. So even if you crash that high speed and all, there's nothing happening, no injuries, nothing. You will have the safety gears, and no one will be like uh how do you say, like you won't
Will
get serious injuries.
I know. And that's what we keep telling everyone, wear your proper gear when you're on the road, wear your guards, elbow guards, your shin guards, whatever guards you have, that's, you have to keep yourself
Yeah,
safe. And
the important thing is the helmet,
absolutely. And,
because
with,
yeah,
sorry,
the helmet is like, it has to be like fitted to your like your cheeks, and it has to be tight, and it has to like fit perfectly. It should not shake, because helmet is very important. It protects your head, and it's one of the
absolutely.
main things in racing.
Absolutely, and we see so many of them, and with this pandemic hitting us so badly, and with less people traveling by public transport, even the sale of two wheelers must have gone up in India. So, and once you do that, once that happens, it's very important that they run around, they wherever they go, they take their time, not be around moving around in a rush, because that could be really dangerous, And
Yeah,
youngster like you telling everyone whosoever has joined in, this is a lesson Mikhail is telling us, that you have to be slow and steady if you want to win the race. That's what you're saying, right, Mikhail?
yeah. You can be like push and go fast in the track, but not in the road,
Yes,
because
that's so important. That's so
road is
important.
one of the dangerous place. And not only you are driving, there's other type of vehicles also driving, and
Absolutely.
you can never judge anything in the roads.
So I find it quite funny. Someone who's a into full fledged into racing, a rider of quality. You're doing it so well at this level, and you are scared to ride a bicycle on Indian roads. So we really need
Not
to be.
only Indian roads, I am even in Malaysia and everywhere.
Malaysia is
Like,
crowded. Malaysia is quite crowded. Kuala Lumpur is quite crowded.
okay, but like I have that one panic feeling. Like suddenly, when even the people come around me, suddenly I get like shock. And while going on the road, all the vehicles go a bit fast and makes me more out of control sometimes with the panic I have. So
Absolutely.
I don't
So you know,
take the risk.
that is also important point which you have raised, is that you have to have that fear inside you. The
Yeah,
fear. That fear is what keeps us doing something which will harm our
yeah,
body and our surrounding. And if we harm ourselves, it will is ultimately go to the family. Uh,
yeah.
so yeah.
And
So
like sometimes it can, like injuries like that can take you also out of the race. Like if I have a race coming up next week and I go cycling and then get some hurt, and I will be ruled out of the weekend, and I will not be able to race also. So I would not take that kind of risk at all.
wonderful. Uh, Tell me something. Who is the best sports person you've always followed as a child, and someone who you look up to?
uh, since I started like watching this motorcycle racing and everything, my favorite guy is Casey Stoner. He's from Australia.
Okay.
He retired like in 2012. He was my favorite. I don't know why, but he was a bit unique and some good feeling gave me from him. And I've always, like tried to be like him, like outside of the track, and like inside of the track, you cannot be like him. You cannot be like anybody because it's like everyone has a unique style inside the track. But like outside the track, like you can, like you have to be like almost all the riders have the same attitude, like
No, but
the
you
cheerful
certainly have a
attitude and
very
the
good
happy.
attitude. You certainly have a very good attitude. I really appreciate. And young man. And you know this
Thank
number
you very
16,
much.
16 years old. You've so young. I have to tell you one story. Whenever that 16-year bracket comes, one name comes to our mind always. And can you guess that name? When in India, when it's 16, one name come to our mind.
I don't know.
Okay, his name is Sachin Tendulkar. He made his debut as a cricketer when he was 16 years old. Okay, so that 16 is a very special number in India. And then he went on to play for 24 years for India. What a phenomenal! So you started so early, and you're doing so well.
Actually,
And
I am a bit late. My teammate who is racing with me in the Asia Talent Cup, he is 12 years old. He's more tiny than me.
okay,
I'm like around a bit like the older side because the youngest ones are 12, 13s, and the middle age is like the 14, 15s, and the oldest ones are 16, 17, and 18s.
no, but
So
I just told you what 16 means to us in India. It means a lot to us because that gentleman really changed a lot of narrative of Indian sport, and that was Sachin Tendulkar. He was a big man. He did a lot for himself as a cricketer. He was a champion of a cricketer. Mikhail, you are also 16. I wish you all the best. You do well on the
thank
circuit.
you.
Be safe and be good to your surrounding. Be good to your opponent, and remember, God has to be fair to the opposition also. The days you lose, as you rightly said, even when you fall, you love falling. Please get up and keep winning.
Yeah,
And thanks for coming on SK Live.
thank you.
Thank you. Take care. All the best. Stay safe. Bye.
Okay,
Cheers.
see you.
See you.